Where can you find the best deals? The best investors in the market understand where to go out, hunt, and find the best creme de la creme investment opportunities within property. And we're going to talk about it all here. Hey, it's Gary from Let Property, and we help thousands of investors every single year buy and sell their investment properties through the sale of buy-to-let properties across the UK. I personally own a multiple seven-figure property portfolio, and I'm on a journey today to help other investors just like you become a successful hands-off property investor, just like me. In this video, we're going to be giving you a rundown of all of the different ways that you can find and get investment properties. And we're going to give you a strategy, whether you're a new or experienced investor, about how to come at this and actually get access to the best opportunities within the marketplace. So the first source, which is the elephant in the room, is the open market through websites like Rightmove, Zoopla, and On the Market. Because this is where agents like ourselves and like many other companies go out and put their properties, because this is where you're going to get the maximum reach. Very often, this is where most property investor or residential buyers' journeys start. So it means that these are the best places to actually list a property in order to get the maximum reach. The maximum reach on a property usually means that the seller of the property can achieve the best possible price too. Now, many investors think that there aren't deals on Rightmove or Zoopla or all these places, and that is absolutely not the case. As an agent that puts hundreds of properties on Rightmove every single month, I can say for a guaranteed fact that there is always opportunities to be done. Sellers' expectations change all the time. You've got properties that fall through and come back on the market, and you can jump on them. You've got properties that are just listed. You've got properties that are aged and represent a huge opportunity for investors. Every single property has a story, and the open market is just a place for them to be listed so that you can find them and start that conversation. The one downside of using the open market is the levels of competition. Because again, this is where everyone is on to actually find properties. This is where you've got guys that actually just work full time as property sourcers, as investors, and they're actually on there throwing out lots and lots and lots of offers in the open market on a daily basis. The other source that's worth looking at is off market, or through contacts, through friends. There's so many off market availability for properties nowadays. There's a lot of email lists you can join. There's a lot of people you can speak to. There's 1,000,001 property sources in the UK. And a lot of these guys are trying to sell you or give you off-market properties. Now, what is considered an off-market property is effectively a tip-off or information from someone about a property that's being sold that isn't actually put on the open market through any of these portals. Now, the good thing about having an off-market tip-off or a deal off-market is that very often you don't have the level of competition that you would experience on the open market, because that property hasn't been publicly advertised for everyone else to see. And there are situations where sellers actually want an off-market sale because they want the sale to be private. They don't want others to actually be aware of the sale. The seller might actually be willing to take a hit on the property by not listing it on the open market, by actually achieving a private off-market sale. Now, the one disadvantage of off-market is very simple. How do you get access to these properties ahead of everyone else? And how do you actually get into these little secret lists or these off-market pools of properties that nobody else is able to see or get access to? We'll talk about that later in the video. The next access point that I want to discuss is direct to vendor. Direct to vendor is effectively when you're dealing directly with the seller of the property. Now, when you're dealing directly with the seller, this does represent the best possible opportunity for you to actually get an amazing deal on a property. That's because the seller doesn't have a middleman agent actually trying to negotiate on behalf of them. And it means that you can have that one-to-one relationship with no middleman and usually negotiate the best possible deal in this way. The hard thing about going direct to vendor is unless you're going to go knock doors, you have to be incredibly good at marketing and have access to a wide range of sellers that want to speak to you. You have to be heavily experienced in order to get their details, and then also to do the sales and negotiation with these sellers to actually get them to work with you. This is effectively what our company does. I mean, we sell tenanted properties and we spend tens of thousands of pounds per month on paid advertising just to get access to direct to vendor inquiries. And then what we do is we sell the properties on behalf of those sellers to other investors. If you're looking to build a portfolio of under 50 or 100 properties, my recommendation would not be to go direct to vendor. I think the level of cost, time, and effort that you're going to go through, unless you're trying to build a full-time property business, is really not worth it. So what is my advice for the average Joe investor that's coming into the market, or the experienced investor that's looking to grow their portfolio from 5 or 6 properties up to 15 in the next couple of years? Well, very simply, if you know nobody, you need to start on the market. I think the biggest mistake that a lot of investors make is they don't spend the time putting their criteria together and then actually just making lots of offers on a range of properties on the open market. At the end of the day, would you pay £50 for a house worth $200,000? There's always a price you would pay for any property. And my advice is to find out what that best price is, given your criteria and given your strategy, and just make as many offers as possible. By doing this, what you're going to do is you're going to build relationships with people in the market. That's going to be with agents, that's going to be with people you end up doing deals with, and what's going to happen then is you're going to get access and you're going to get the in to property deals that are perhaps off market. Many of our long-term clients work closely with us, and there's a huge percentage of properties that we sell off market just because we have such great clients that we've worked with for such a long time that actually come to us and come back again, and they're usually first pick for some of the new opportunities that we bring on our books. What you're doing is you're solving a problem for an agent where they're able to actually sell the property quickly to someone that has having a proven track record to buy, and then you're getting access to something that you're not getting that competition on. So off market is the place you want to get to when you start to build those relationships with agents. But when you start out and you have no leverage, you just have to start doing the hard work. On market represents still an unbelievable opportunity to pick up deals. It just takes time. You just have to make lots of offers in order to find something that's perfect and at the right price. At the high worlds of property, it's relationships that make the magic happen, and those relationships only start by you getting started and becoming a property investor and moving forward with that first purchase or that next purchase to build those further relationships. I hope this video was useful. If you're interested in finding out the mistakes that first-time investors make, then check out the video over here.